Sports Bash, presented by TicketBash.com. TicketBash.com, where memories are made affordable and where you'll never pay a service fee. Sports Bash is also presented by Ryan Anthony's Heating Service, keeping Long Island warm for over 18 years, serving their customers in Nassau and Suffolk with pride, honesty, and integrity. For more information, visit www.liboilers.com. Sports Bash is brought to you by the Embassy Diner, located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Every customer is considered family at the Embassy Diner. Mention Sports Bash and get a free dessert with your meal. By Bearcat Billing Service, your trusted partner in medical billing. Experience the Bearcat way, personal, professional, and tailored to your needs. Give Gary a call at 516-796-2400 and tell him Sports Bash sent you. By the Marty Lyons Foundation, the official charity of Sports Bash Media. The third annual Evening of Thanks Gala is coming up November 14th. That's next week at the Bourne Mansion in Oakdale. For more information, go to martylyonsfoundation.org. And by Collaborate Studios, a content marketing production facility. For more info, call them at 516-509-8277. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Peter Schwartz, and how about this? How about this? We've had him on Zoom since the new show started, and now he is here in studio, the CEO of TicketBash.com, Vinny Tickets. It's good to see you.
Well, I finally got a break.
Well, we were getting a little concerned, so we had your face was on a milk carton. So now we can actually get rid of this. So I thought maybe you'd want to have that as a souvenir, because
our viewers can see that.
Yeah. Since we started the new show here at Governors, we haven't seen you. The World Series got you too busy, so we were just wondering if you were okay. So we put this out on the milk carton,
yes,
and we're thankful that you were able to come in.
Well, the sentiment is very nice. I appreciate that, Peter. Thank you.
Maybe we'll just leave that out there for the rest of the show. And of course, later on in the show, we're going to be joined by Red Bulls captain and Long Island native Sean Nealis after the Red Bulls' stunning first-round playoff upset over defending MLS champion Columbus. We'll have our ticket segment later on in the show. We'll talk about some ticket news. The phone number to call is 516-465-3990. We will have our Sports Bash Media poll question of the day later in the show. This segment is presented by the Embassy Diner in Bethpage, where every customer is considered family. The Embassy Diner is located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Mention Sports Bash and get a free dessert with your meal. We have an in-studio guest today, and he's not just any in-studio guest. He is now a partner in Sports Bash, a brand new partner, and we're very happy to have Ryan Anthony from Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund and Ryan Anthony's Heating Service in studio with us for the show today. It's always good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you guys as always.
And you guys have a long-standing relationship. I mean, you've been on his podcast. He's got a very successful podcast, and it's very, very nice to have you now part of the Sports Bash family on board as a partner and helping to spread the word.
Happy to be here.
So the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund, and we've come to know how important this has been and how great it has been for individuals on Long Island. Not everybody is cut out to go to college. I think that's plain, and that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. And I think that's where your organization comes into play. What do kids do after they're done with high school?
Right.
And what kind of future can they have if they don't want to go to college, or if they're not a fit for college?
Right.
Tell us a little bit about the group and what you try to do with your partners.
So we're basically a group of like-minded individuals looking to raise awareness to our future generation of all the alternatives that are available out there, and start the kids on their path at the 9th and 10th grade level, not wait till they graduate and then figure it out. So we actually had a curriculum that my wife had made that Sachem High School picked up this year and rolled out. And I was actually just yesterday with the teacher of that class. So, 3 weeks ago, I think it was, Aiden, we went to Sachem, we talked to the kids.
Introduce Aiden to
Aiden's my
everybody.
videography.
Yeah,
so
we don't want to forget
another
that.
good young guy doing good things for us. If everyone sees like our video content's gotten better, it's because of him. So anyway, we went to Sachem. We spoke to the kids that are actually in the class that we created. So it was very surreal and a big accomplishment, I think, for the cause, because we're only going into our second year right now. And we're just coming off of the gala that Vinny was at, and we raised $108,000 towards the gala. And that money is going to go towards, obviously awareness, marketing, but also the kids that go through our program, who we're not only going to just job place, we're going to give them funding to buy their first set of tools or whatever clothes, gear needed to get into their careers and give them a head start.
Yeah, I have to interject here because I'll say this. I went to the event, and when Ryan first told me about it, I was like, wow, what a great idea, And then I went to the event, and I came home, and my wife was like, wow, you're real chipper. I said, I still had a little bit of a buzz going and a little bit of energy going. And I will absolutely say that I've been involved with, our company does a lot for the community. We give back, but absolutely the youth of America is our future. And to be involved, and on a very small scale, we did a couple little things together, but to be there and see Ryan's charity at work and the people that were there and the overall concept of what he has created. Number one, I'm super proud to be involved, but more than anything, I'm super proud of what you've created because, it's not, a lot of times that people are always focusing, and rightfully so, you're focusing on the sick, the indigent, the people that need food. Well, this is just such a positive charity and such a positive organization because everything that you're doing is building the youth of tomorrow. So my hat goes off to Ryan and his charity and what he's creating, and I'm super proud to say I know him and to be involved and for everything that he's accomplished so far. And I know it's just the tip of the iceberg, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great things to come in the future.
Do you have a check for him or something?
I didn't pay him to say that. Yeah. But I will say that I am only, listen, I may have been the idea guy behind it to get this pushed forward, and but I'm only as good as the people I surround myself with. And every day I get someone else in their ear and they want to be a part of it, and the organization grows, and it's all volunteer, and we have a meeting next Wednesday. I'm basically going to say that it's going to be probably one of our biggest meetings.
That's November 13th at 7 o'clock at the Piermont in Babylon. So what you do is you try and canvass other companies, other business owners, other potential mentors to come into the group and be a part of what you guys do to try to help these individuals after they're done with high school.
Right. So I was at a tech talk actually yesterday in Levittown High School. And it was all a lot of tech teachers from Long Island, and we were discussing the same topic. And what we're doing is we're at the meetings. We have probably about 20 to 25 different mentors, we call them, and it's the president of Local 25, president of Local 802 Teamsters, Local 1 guys, Local 200 guys, non-union guys, mechanical contractors, a woman who owns a cosmetology school, a guy that owns a boat marina, another guy who owns a Honda dealership, car mechanics, stuff like that. And we also have Curtis Wright, and we know that company, but they build submarines for the government. They're like a $370 stock as of today. Big company, and they manufacture parts that go into submarines. So these are all jobs that kids and even myself didn't really know or understand about until I really dug my teeth into this. These kids come to our meetings thinking they want to be a carpenter or electrician or a plumber, and then I introduce them to someone who builds and manufactures parts for the government, and they say, oh, that sounds pretty cool, maybe I'll go that route. And then they develop their relationship, and then, once they graduate, they can go work for that person. But the other head that we do like to hit is the fact that we encourage the kids from 9th grade to 12th grade, and now this goes from 9th grade kids in high school up to 30-year-olds. Kids come to these meetings. The 9th, 10th, and 11th graders we encourage to work. We can't force them to work. They are younger, and they don't have transportation most of the time. But the seniors, it's mandatory they have a job. So we're also looking to link up with local pizzerias, grocery store owners, stuff like that, restaurants, which we have a couple of restaurants we work with now, for kids to have more high school-oriented jobs. They need to have work experience prior to them coming to us, or while they're coming to us, prior to them, getting a career job. They need that experience first.
We're talking to Ryan Anthony, our in-studio guest from Ryan Anthony's Head Start Fund and also Ryan Anthony's heating service, and we'll get to that in a moment as well, as the winter months are fast approaching, although it's 70-something degrees out here. I don't know how many people are using their they're heating at home right now.
My
It's
AC
like,
was on last weekend.
I mean, this is nuts. I'm a fall and winter person. I
Yeah.
do not like the summer. I do not like the sweat.
Mhm.
So I would like to be able to turn the heat on in the house because I like the cold weather.
Right.
Is that sick?
No.
It's
Well,
a little strange, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people live on Long Island don't like the summertime? Well, I just don't like the heat. But we're talking about the Head Start Fund and being able to help those individuals that might not be ready for college or might not be able to go to college after. And what is the ideal candidate that you look for in a student or an individual to be able to help? Is it necessarily the person who can't afford to go to college, or is it someone that maybe is just not equipped to go to college but wants to be able to get right into the workplace after school?
It's really anyone and everyone. And, I work with the Department of Labor too. There's a couple people over there we have contacts with. And, a lot of the state stuff is, minority and stuff like that. And we're not saying no to that. We're just saying that it's not just about, helping minorities or people with disabilities. Or this needs to be addressed to everyone because, I wasn't necessarily underprivileged, I guess you would say would be the best word for it. My parents worked 2 jobs, we hustled and, we were considered middle class. And these options were never offered to me. These options were, all right, well, you need to graduate and go to college. That's the only option. And even to this day, like when I did the talk at Sachem, there's probably about 65 kids in one of the classes. I start off the conversation every single time, all right, how many of you guys are going to college? Every single kid raises their hand. All right, now how many of you guys know why you're going to college? 2 kids. That's the problem. Too many kids are going because that's what they're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. They flounder throughout college, party, whatever, hang out, and some of them get their degree or their diploma, and then they're floundering. 23, 24, 25. Then they come to a company like mine, and they want to have a job, and we start at $18, $20 an hour. They got a loan that's $100,000, $200,000. What are they going to do? So it's really hard to see. That's really another one of the reasons that why we started is because I got sick of seeing kids like that because they come to me and by that time it's not that it's too late, they could turn around, but it's late in the game.
Right.
I wanted to get into the point where 9th, 10th grade, like 9th, 10th grade, these kids are full of piss and vinegar, as I used to say, and they want to work and they're determined they want to make $1 million. Let's get them then, and then let's get in their minds and introduce them to the right people, have them make relationships, and it's been really good so far.
It's an interesting thing that you get in at 9th and 10th grade because like you said, there's a lot of kids that they don't want to have to go to mom and dad. And just been there, done that, got the postcard. They don't want to have to go to mom and dad every single time and say, hey, I want to go with Jimmy to out to eat or go to a movie. They want to be there. There are kids who really do want to earn money. They don't want to just have to go to mom and dad and say, hey, you got $20 for me for the night. They want to earn it. I mean, I have 2 kids that want to go out and earn money too when they're home and not going to school. But sometimes those opportunities just aren't there, whether it's the labor laws or whatever. And I think that's where your program comes in, is to get these kids ready to experience what's going to lie ahead for them in the workplace.
Yeah, and a little tough love.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids don't know what tough love is. It's kids come to me all the time. Oh, I can't get a job. All right, I'm gonna make one phone call right now. You really want a job, right? Yeah. Make a phone call, get a job. Make sure at the interview. That's how easy. So we have such an outsource that if kids want a job, I'll get you job placed right away. My buddy owns the Piermont. That's where we have all our meetings. He staffs hundreds of people. I get you a job. So don't give me the excuse you can't get a job. So we call them on there.
And that is the excuse. It's not always a fact. It's an excuse.
It's not just the kid's excuse. It's the parent's excuse, and it's the parents saying, "Oh, he tried." Baloney.
How hard?
Baloney. Like if you really wanted to do something, you're gonna do it, and that's what we talk about at these meetings. And let's face it, I have a son and a daughter. I hope they listen to me, or at least somewhat listen to me, but kids aren't as apt to listen to their parents as they are someone that they maybe look up to as far as a mentor. So, whether it's an aunt, uncle, but these are all strangers really. But if these people could become mentors to these kids, they're going to want to strive to be like them. And that's what we're trying to institute in their brains.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be a blue collar job.
No.
I mean, it could be anything, depending on who your mentors in the companies that partner with you. It doesn't necessarily have to be, going and doing,
That's the biggest misconception that we deal with when people say trade. Trades are many different. I mean, a doctor is a trade, technically, right? I mean, a dentist is a trade, but granted, you got to go to school for a certain amount of time. Kids may come to us and we may job place them, and they may turn out that they hate working with their hands. Well, that's okay. You could still stay in an industry, and you could work distribution company, you could work doing sales, you could do inside outside sales, you could do work for a manufacturer. I mean, there's so many different aspects of every industry. I mean, every industry is billions of dollars, and we need to introduce these jobs and these opportunities to these kids and let them make the decision early before they decide to go to college and go that route.
So, Vinny, if somebody wanted to get into the ticket industry,
There you go.
right?
Stay away.
Wait, no. I don't think
I wouldn't do it to my worst enemy.
No.
He's just saying that.
We were in Las Vegas for 3 days. Oh, he was there longer. And your phone didn't stop buzzing, and I know how busy you were during the World Series.
Yeah,
it's a good business.
Yeah, it is a good business, and as far as I've seen a lot of people in my industry that. They went to college or they didn't go to college, and it's not a prerequisite to be in the ticket industry, right? There are a lot of barriers of entry to come into my business, from capital to licensing, things of the sort. But, absolutely, there's a lot of trades, like you said, like being a ticket broker is a trade,
Well, here's the other thing. Kids that do go to college and do get the degree, who's helping them get a job?
Oh, I mean, you're done with school.
No one's helping. They took the money, they collected the funds, and there's no bridge to gap that either.
No, I'll tell you what happens after they're done with college.
Right.
Now they're looking for a job. So now it's costing them money to make their resumes. It's costing them money to go on job interviews, to go, if they want to get a job in the city, they got to get on the train.
Right.
Somebody's got to pay for the train. You just paid all that money to go to college. Now you got to get on the train and get gas and all that stuff to go on the job interview. So it is a process even beyond the education that you get.
Once again, we explain to the kids, that even the kids that do go to college, like, these are presidents of unions. These are, my buddy Billy, he owns a big electrical company, probably has 200 employees. He hires architects, he hires draftsmen, he hires estimators. These are all college degree jobs. Granted, he's a blue collar owner, but he hires people with college degrees. So now these kids come back from college. This is the idea anyway. These kids come to our meetings, they go to college, do what they got to do. They want to be an engineer, great. Come back to us, hey, now you have this relationship that you created 4 years ago. And you came and visited, during your summer months or your off times. Now you can get some sort of pathway to a job after you graduate college.
And since we are a sports show, from a sports perspective, you could literally partner with sports teams and sports organizations, because there are a lot of kids that want to get into sports, whether it's, kids have a dream of playing in the NFL or playing Major League Baseball, but there's also kids who want to say, I'd love to go work for the Islanders, I'd love to go work for the Mets, and then that could be a possibility too, that you don't necessarily have to go to college. If you can team up with the right mentor and team up with the right people, you might be able to get that opportunity after high school.
Or narrow down what you even want to go. You may work with a mentor for a year or two. Now you're 20. Now you know what you want to go and further your education on. Maybe then you want to go for an engineer or sports medicine. I have a customer in Massapequa that's one of my first customers, and she reached out to me. She said, my son's 25 years old. He graduated. Got a degree in sports management. And she's like, I don't know if you could help him. You guys are more blue collar. I said, no. I said, we could help him. Have him come to a meeting. So he came to the meeting, and I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but I saw him. I met him, shook his hand, and I don't think he got a lot out of it. So I called him the next day, and I said, hey, I didn't get a chance to talk to you or anything. How did you feel about the meeting? And he said, it seems like it's more blue collar. I said, well, my friend Tom owns the hockey rinks in Hauppauge, Port Jeff.
Great facility. Facility.
Yep, Tom Palomaro, who's a huge contributor to this. I called Tom. Tom, I got this kid. He graduated, he got a degree. Maybe you could just sit with him. The guy was very appreciative. The mom was very appreciative. Tom hired him. So that's all it took. That's what people make things sound so much harder than they are.
Yeah.
It took me one phone call to him, another phone call to Tom. They worked it out amongst themselves. Now he works for Tom.
Yeah, I think people need to get rid of that preconceived notion about the trades, and about not only about the trades, but about your organization.
Right.
Because you could do anything. I mean, when you go to these unions, there's shop stewards, there's salespeople that are out on the road all day long, and they do very well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
They do very well also.
And
so
you can decide how far you want to go up with it.
yeah.
We'll pick up this conversation a little bit later on the show when we come back after a quick timeout. So Ryan Anthony from Ryan Anthony's Head Start Fund has been with us, and obviously a huge sponsor of the show now, and also Ryan Anthony, heating company. And I kind of teased this before, and when we were talking about the fund. But obviously the winter months are coming up if they ever do get here, because it's freaking 75 degrees outside, and it's November 5th or whatever it is, November 6th. And for people who live on Long Island, obviously, there's a number of choices that they can make when it comes to heating their homes. What's your philosophy, and what do people need to make sure they're prepared for as the winter months come up?
I always encourage everyone on the colder nights, turn the heat on and test it. We put videos out all the time asking people to do it, but I've been in business for 18 years. I've been in the industry for over 20, and there's no preparing enough for it. When we get that first cold snap, it's mayhem.
Don't wait for the last minute to bleed the radiator.
Please don't, because you're only going to get into a fight with your wife or your husband. It makes a disgruntled phone call to us. People are already pissed off when they call us, because at the end of the day, who wants to fix a boiler? And, we have an air conditioning job going the next week, so this weather is really something else.
I can't. I mean, I've been living on Long Island since I'm 12 years old, and I can't remember a summer into fall like we have had here on Long Island. This is just nuts. Like I want to be able to consistently put a sweatshirt on, and I started the day with a sweatshirt today.
76
Then I
degrees.
walked outside, and I'm like, it's 75 degrees outside. I got to go put another shirt on.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's been beautiful.
Thank you for being part of the Sports Bash family now as a sponsor, and best of luck with everything. And I'd love to come to one of the meetings.
Next Wednesday.
I have to check the schedule.
You see that?
You know
That's
me,
usually
where I have to
happens.
check the schedule.
I'd love to come on next Wednesday. There you go.
Well, you know how
Yeah.
my schedule is crazy. I literally, the first thing there's two things I do when I wake up.
I'm not making you feel bad, am I?
No, not at all. If I can come, I'm going to come. But there's two things I do when I wake up in the morning. The first thing that I do is I
Brush
check
your
my
teeth?
Well, I don't forget to do that.
Yeah.
I check the calendar to see where I'm working that day.
Right.
Because I have 18,000 jobs. And the other thing I do is I pick up the newspaper and I check the obituaries. If I don't see my name, I go on with the rest of my day. That's what I do. Those are the first two things I do every day. So that will wrap it up for this edition of Sports Bash, presented by Ticketbash.com and Ryan Anthony's Heating Service. Sports Bash is also sponsored by the Embassy Diner in Bethpage, by Bearcat Building Service, the Marty Lyons Foundation, and Collaborate Studios. Big thanks to Tony Walker and everybody here at Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown for their absolute fantastic hospitality. For our entire crew, I'm Peter Schwartz. Thanks for watching. We're back tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, very
Great
nice.
show.
Good show.
That's a good show.
It's a great show.
That's a great show. Next stop, Gus is Tony. Thank you.
Pleasure,
Appreciate you,
man. Good
brother.
seeing you, brother.